Boy, that's a great question. Only in Nebraska.
Only in Nebraska. I think.
Oh boy, there's a lot that's unique about Nebraska.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So I assume you mean beyond Nebraska nice?
I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't really know. Okay.
You know, the story I like to tell is when I moved here in 1996 and bought my first house. We called a plumber to come over and to look at the house at the plumbing, and he came in and he said, "Oh, I need to show you around your house," because he'd been the plumber on the house for 20 years. And so he took us upstairs into the attic and showed us where there was this old antique toilet and everything, and showed us around. And then he just said, "Whenever you need plumbing fixed, just call me. You can leave the door unlocked and I'll come in and fix it." And we do that to this day.
One of the things that only happens in Nebraska is you can walk down the street and say hello and smile, and the person that you're passing looks you straight in the eye and looks back and says hello and smiles back. Believe it or not, it doesn't happen everywhere.
One of the things that was really striking the moment we moved here, you walk up to somebody and say, "Hi, my name's whatever, and I've just moved in across the street, and how are you? I'm going to be your neighbor." And they say, "Hi." And they ask you, "What do you do?" And you say, "Oh, I work at the university." And they're like, "Wow, that's great." And that's never happened anywhere else. It's quite special, right?
Well, I think only in Nebraska could you provide a small private college experience with a public university opportunity. Because it's the mix of the population, of the geographic location, the diversity of our students.
I've been in a lot of different places in my career. There just is no place like Nebraska that the university is such a pivotal and central part of the state.
Think about game days here and the way we treat visiting fans. That to me is like one of those quintessential Nebraska moments of just extreme welcoming kindness.
It's very rare to see in other communities that you see people really committed to each other. Perhaps I would say the only in Nebraska is really the grit and commitment to people that I actually come to, admire.
You're going to be very comfortable here. It's a place that you can just feel at home and be yourself.
When I first moved here, I didn't like Valentino's Pizza to start. God forbid, and now I love it. And it takes years to build up the affinity that you need.
Everyone knows what a runza is. When you talk about runza, people know that in Nebraska. I learned that as I moved here. That's a very Nebraska thing. And it's always windy here.
When I was growing up, I didn't really know what entrepreneurship was, and I didn't really know what a startup was because I didn't really know about much of that stuff happening here in Nebraska. But coming from a small town background here in central Nebraska, to being able to grow this company that became part of a global pharmaceutical company, and I think that would be something that's only in Nebraska.
I'm a Nebraskan by choice, not by birth. It is a way of life and a way of thought. It's a way of grasping opportunities and having a positive attitude about the future. And that has made me incredibly proud to be part of this community.